Welcome, DC family. This is the District Sports Report. My name is Gregory Henderson, coming to you live, reporting on all things Washington, D.C. sports. Recapping the last few Wizards games today, starting with the game which was our last game for 2018. We played the Charlotte Hornets at home. This is our first game against the Hornets this year. And before the game, the Wizards received some terrible, terrible news. Apparently, John Wall's heel injury was worse than anticipated. He did opt to get surgery, which would keep him out for the rest of the season. Recovery time, 6 to 8 months. Big blow to the team, losing our all-star for the rest of the year, especially at a point where we really need to make a push to the playoffs. Definitely hurts our chances. But hey, we can't dial it in now. Every man is going to have to step up, next man up. We got a big game against Charlotte. How did the Wizards respond? I was a little bit worried. Pleasantly surprised. Wizards played a glorious, glorious game. Ended up pulling out the victory 130 to 126, despite a Herculean effort by Kemba Walker. He scored 47 points. It was like he did not miss. Wizards won with a very balanced attack. 7 players in double figures, almost 8. Troy Brown was 3 for 4 from the field and had 9 points. Definitely his best regular season game of the year. But Beal only had 19 points, y'all. We had 3 players that scored over 20 in this game. Ariza had 21. I think Thomas Bryant had 21. Sato poured in 20. Like, this never happens where we have players outside of our, Wall, Beal, and maybe sometimes Markieff Morris scoring over 20 points. And to win with Beal only having 19 was pretty phenomenal. Then we played the Atlanta Hawks. Played the Hawks. Our first game of 2019, played them at home. Atlanta, who doesn't have a good record, was actually coming in on a pretty good winning streak. They had won 5 of their last 7 games. Porter was coming back. He's been out for 10 games for a knee contusion, so it was very nice having Automatic back in the lineup. And the Wizards responded. This was a classic everybody eats game. The Wizards had 5 players in double figures. 8 of the 9 players who played in the game scored over 7 points. So everybody was eating. We were led by Beal, once again, with 24 points. And my man, Uncle Jeff Green, poured in 22 to back him up. So we won pretty handily, 114 to 98. Great home victory over a team we should beat, even without Wall. So it's nice to see us come with kind of a nice, easy victory, which we haven't seen too much this year. That brings us to tonight. Wizards played a road game against the Miami Heat. Haven't been pretty good on the road this year, so it's an opportunity to try to get, once again, our 5th victory of the year. Now, the Wizards lead. Wizards coming in with a record of 15 and 23. Miami coming with a record of 18 and 18. They actually lead the Southeast Division this year. Not by much, but by a small margin. It's a big road game. We have not run a road game in almost a month, since December 5th, which is pretty crazy. And the Heat have always been a thorn in our side. They typically always have our number, and they've come in on a pretty good streak right now. They've won 7 of their last 9 games. The last time we beat this team, which was in November, I believe, we out-rebounded them 48 to 38. Now, that's profound because the Wizards have won every single game this year where we've out-rebounded our opponent. It hasn't been that much. It's been 8 times, but we're 8-0 when we out-rebounded our opponent. So that is something to watch tonight. We got a little scared at the end of the first quarter. Beal went out to the locker room after the first quarter concluded, but he came back out midway through the second. Much to do about nothing. Beal was fine. We played a great game today. I mean, I wasn't mad at the effort at all. They really played tough, played as a team. The passing, the spacing was great, but we still took an L, 109 to 115. Beal had 33, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Ariza backed him up with 21 points, 6 rebounds. But we just could not stop Whiteside, who just kills us. He had 21 points, 18 rebounds. The Miami Heat out-rebounded us 48 to 41. Once again, recipe for disaster. That was kind of our undoing. Key takeaways from this game is that we just could not stop them inside. I think they had over 60 points in the paint. We talked about Whiteside kind of dominating on the offensive end, but also on the defensive end. We could not make our layups. Now, some of it was just unforced errors, but some of it was Whiteside being a good rim protector. We were getting to the hole. We weren't finishing. Bradley Beal missed some uncharacteristic layups that he normally makes, and that was really our demise. Normally we get killed from three-point range in respect to other teams. We're not a good three-point defensively team, efficiently wise, but tonight it was the inside. We got killed on the inside, and that really was our demise. Top floor breakdown. Hey, Redskins season is over, y'all, but we won't fret. But we do have Jay Gruden coming back next year, which is a bit of a surprise to me, and not too thrilled about it. He's been mediocre at best in his 6 seasons with the team. Don't know really what to expect next year except the same, mediocrity. Reuben Foster is in the news. We were highly criticized for bringing him aboard to the team, signing him after multiple reports of domestic violence and even substance abuse. He has been cleared on all domestic charges. I guess there wasn't enough evidence to push forth the case. I'm sure this story will not end today, but Reuben Foster has been cleared of all charges. Looks like we have the 15th pick in the draft. I'm hoping that we go after a quarterback. This is not a great draft for quarterbacks this year. I am looking at that guy from Ohio State who's looking pretty strong. But we'll see what happens. 15th pick is a little bit down the road, but not far down the road where you can't get a great player. So it'll be interesting to see what we do with that as the draft leads up. Hey, big game tomorrow, NFL playoffs. Dallas Cowboys playing the Seattle Seahawks. Why am I mentioning this? Because the Redskins are my favorite football team. My second favorite football team is whoever is playing the Dallas Cowboys. So go Hawks, go Russell Wilson. We'll be watching you tomorrow night. Let's make sure Dallas is watching the rest of the playoffs at home with us. Okay? All right. Numbers this season. Attendance numbers at FedEx Field. Woo! Down 19% from last year. That is profound. I mean, if you talk about hitting Snyder where it hurts, that's hitting him in his pockets right there. 19%, almost 20% decrease in fan attendance, fans in the stands from 2017. They have a hashtag out right now saying, "Fire Bruce Allen." Oh my gosh. I think he needs to go. I mean, it's gotten to the point where he's not even talking to the media. He's not even, holding himself accountable in my eyes and a lot of people's eyes. Things are going down the wrong road. It's time for a change. Time for a new president. I don't know if they're going to make that move, but it's definitely time. Capitals, 2-game losing streak. Not worried about it. My Caps will get off the snide. We lost a tough one to the Senators. We actually 2-0 up in that game and ended up losing 5-2. And then tonight we lost to the Dallas Stars. Tough loss in OT. We lost 2-1. But I do want to give a big ups to Big O Ovechkin. Our great 8 was named the All-Star MVP, All-Star captain this year for the All-Star game. As he's one of the leading scorers this year, once again at age 33. He did decline to play in the All-Star game, which is a bit of disappointment. He won't be able to be an ambassador for the game this year. But he's getting some rest so he can prepare for this final run to get this Stanley Cup, and I ain't mad at that. All right. We play the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow, so let's get off this now, get this W against the Red Wings, get off this, make sure we don't get a 3-game losing streak. All right, Nationals. Woo! You talk about somebody happy to get the reports that we are now the front runners to sign my man Bryce Harper. I'm so thrilled. So thrilled. So apparently we upped our offer, which was originally about $300 million. We've upped it quite a bit. I haven't seen the exact numbers, but it's way over 300 now. Something that Bryce Harper's kind of salivating at. And multiple reports are saying that it's highly likely that he will re-sign. And when they finally announce that, it's going to be a happy day in Washington, a happy day for me, a happy day for District Sports Report to bring him back in the fold, especially with the new people that we brought aboard. We'll be looking pretty strong. All right. Capital City Go-Go. 2-game winning streak, baby. We started out beating Maine, 105-104 on a nail-biter. McCray scored 32 points. Devin Robinson backed them up with 25. Then we backed it up with a big win against Canton, 122-117. McCray poured in a team-high, game-high 43 points. The boy is balling. Robinson backed him up once again with 22 and a hellified tomahawk slam that's got to be on SportsCenter. All right. Georgetown, who are now in Big East play, they beat Butler 84-76. Our next game is tomorrow against our rival, St. John's. Let's beat the Red Boys. They're actually coached by Chris Mullen, NBA legend. So he'll be facing off against fellow NBA legend, Patrick Ewing, which should be a good game. Let's give the St. John's their second Big East loss in a row. All right. So if your timeline was flooded with New Year's messages, mine was too. And one of my favorites was surround yourself with people that will push you to be great, push you to be better. The company you keep is so important. Also, I love leave the past in the past, right? Live for today. Focus on what's ahead, not what's in the rear view, okay? And I think that's what the Wizards should do. Not focus on what happened today or yesterday. Let's focus on what's ahead. So what do we have ahead? OKC. Russell Westbrook and Paul George coming to town. Or actually, we're going to OKC on Sunday. They're actually sitting second in the West. They are really balling right now. Paul George is back to his MVP form. So they're going to be a handful. After that, we got a back-to-back against the Sixers on Tuesday and Wednesday. One at home, one away. I heard Jimmy Butler and Coach Brett Brown over at in Philly are not seeing eye to eye right now. Let's take advantage of that, hopefully. Or maybe that discord can equal to a victory for us. The Wizards actually won 8 straight games at home versus Philly. So hopefully we can keep that going. I just want to thank all of you, all of my DC family, for watching the show, for subscribing, for liking, for leaving comments. It means the world to me. Your continued support means everything. You know it's DC or nothing. And DC family, we can't do this without you. Hey, it's 2019, y'all. Wake up, be awesome. All right, District Sports Report, signing off.